LOL take two. LOL take two. LOL take two. Now listen. I remember hearing that if you want to see what you are going to look like as an old person, you look at pictures of yourself as a baby. Now, there are some lovely photos of me as a baby. I'm smiling, my eyes are the same dimples. Fine. However, there is one baby photo of me that was professionally taken by Olin Mills, where I look like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. I'm not kidding. I look like a tick in a sailor suit about to explode. It is hideous, and it scares me. Always has. Because as I get older, and if I put on a few pounds, I think, okay, Tony, Uncle Fester, here we come. Needless to say, over the years, that has made me keenly aware of when I gain weight. Thankfully, when I was growing up, I was active. We all were. We didn't have video games or electronic devices. We did have Gilligan's Island reruns, but mostly we played outside. We ran through sprinklers in the summer, jumped in piles of leaves in the fall, had snowball fights in the winter, and in the spring we simply ran amok, like dogs in the yard. Once I was off to the University of Minnesota. I admit that after a year of all-you-can-eat dorm food at Centennial Hall, I put on my freshman 10 pounds. Well, in my case, it was more like the freshman 15. Thankfully, I'm tall, and folks didn't notice much, but I did. My pants started getting tight, and I was forced to own up to my increasing girth and general unhappiness of my life sophomore year. Luckily, I got into a big fat hit musical comedy and got my mojo back. A friend I had met while doing the show, Patrick, was also a student at the U. He had beautiful eyes, chiseled cheeks, and had the famous Wilhelmina modeling agency sending him over to Europe for modeling gigs. Patrick also came from a similar Midwest gene pool as me, and he put on weight even easier than I did. He shared with me how he got rid of his weight. It was called the Beverly Hills Diet and was all the rage at the time. Not only did it sound glamorous, it was easy. I had never heard of food combining. When growing up in Iowa, food combining meant putting a slice of American cheese on your burger. On the Beverly Hills Diet, you ate only pineapple for breakfast, only carbs for lunch, and only protein for dinner. And I'm talking amazing protein. A New York steak with a pint of Haagen-Dazs Swiss almond vanilla ice cream for dessert. And I'd be down 2 pounds the next day. It was fabulous, and I got back down to my fighting weight really easily. But God forbid you had a morsel of carbs with your protein. The magic would disappear and you'd balloon up like Violet Beauregard, the blueberry girl from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. In my late 30s, my metabolism started changing. Scattered gray hairs showed up in my temples, and again, I gained some weight. One of the big frozen meal manufacturers had this deal where you cut coupons off the boxes, and rather quickly you accumulated actual miles on an airline for free flights. Now, when I was growing up, they called them TV dinners. Now they're called lean cuisine and healthy choice, but let's face it, they're still the same thing. Processed, salt-filled mini-meals that wouldn't even fill up Malibu Barbie, and she's anorexic. I bought dozens of these meals on sale, 10 for $10, and I ate 4 of these a day. And of course I dropped all my weight. I was so friggin' hungry all the time. But I did get 2 free flights back to Iowa out of it, so it was a win-win. In my late 40s, I went for my yearly physical with my cool Jamaican Harvard-trained doctor. He had a head full of dreadlocks and was the nicest guy and gave you a hug at the end of your physical. My old Beverly Hills doctor, Dr. Schwartz, had retired. He'd been great too. He was like going to your wise old uncle for your physical, but before the prostate exam, he'd say, "Pardon my arthritic finger." My Jamaican guy, however, would describe your prostate while doing your exam, which freaked me out. "It is very smooth, man, the size of a walnut." Stop, please. Can we just cut to the hug? One physical, he told me I had put on some weight and gave me 3 months to lose it. "It is in your hands, man." Indeed, it was. My friend Philip had just lost 25 pounds in 2 months on the Dukan diet. It's a protein diet. They've been around since forever. They just keep renaming them. Keto, Atkins, South Beach, etc. 15 years earlier, an old boss of mine had done a protein diet through a fancy company called Lindora. Margie was about 5 feet tall and was just as wide. She was an ex-hippie from San Francisco and a bitter, failed singer. She had terrible, age-inappropriate long prom hair and had these teeth that looked like a toddler had taken a hammer to them. The poor thing. Except that she was mean on top of it all, so nobody felt sorry for her. She kept half a dozen pairs of high heels under her desk. The high heels ranged in color from silver and gold lame to bright turquoise to Pepto-Bismol pink. The group of us that worked the night shift all had our eyes on getting out of there. In fact, I was winding down at that job. Having paid off my student loans and my show business career was finally taking off. One night, several of us were going to the kitchen upstairs to eat our dinner, and for some reason, I don't know why, I went into Margie's office, chose the pair of Pepto-Bismol pumps, and put them on. I was like Cinderella, squeezing my size 13 feet into Margie's size 6s. Eventually, I got them on and wore them during our entire dinner break. We ran into 4 attorneys who never even looked down to see what I had on my feet, or at least they didn't admit it. We all got a laugh, and I returned the shoes to under Margie's desk. We got an even bigger laugh a week later when Margie said the Lindora diet was a miracle, as she was even losing weight in her feet. We noticed she was wearing the Pepto-Bismol pumps that day, and they were considerably stretched out like Minnie Mouse's shoes. So 15 years later, I was a little hesitant to dive into a protein diet, but I did it anyway. Days and days of hamburger patties, chicken breasts, sliced turkey. It was good. You were full. You had really bad breath from the ketosis you were putting your body through, but I dropped 20 pounds and my doctor was impressed. Good job, Mon. And he gave me a hug. This last December was a killer. Besides the usual Thanksgiving and Christmas feasts, Bill and I went on a 2-week Panama Canal cruise to celebrate our 32 years together and his odometer-turning birthday. An amazing trip. So much history and so much food. I came home and put on my Costco khakis and was not pleased. A few years ago, Costco rebranded their men's khakis, which were already great, all cotton and no ironing required, calling them comfort pants. Comfort pants is a deceiving and dishonest name. They really should be called My Ass is Fatter Than I'm Owning Up To pants. Not only is there a little bit of give engineered into the waistband, but the clasp is this fancy metal contraption that expands over an inch if it needs to. So if your size 34 comfort pants are tight, you are not a size 34. Well, maybe in a carnival mirror. So what to do? Revisit the Beverly Hills diet? The Dukan all-protein diet? The TV dinner diet? Ugh. My friend Adam and his wife were using this new weight loss app, and they were having luck with it. So I tried it out for a couple of months. It wasn't cheap, $99 for 2 months, but you tracked what you ate, and it ranked the food with a red, yellow, green color system. You took a little online 10-minute class every day. You were assigned an online support group. Now, I'm not a real support group kind of person, and the couple of times I went onto mine, I found I was the only man. In fact, it was mostly women my age, divorced or in the process, who were trying to drop weight, obviously gearing up for being back on the meat rack. It was like a middle-aged dating app. It also included your own personal coach. Mine was a girl named Tara. Well, she called herself Tara. Her enthusiastic and probing emails came in at weird hours of the day. On this program, you could eat anything. You just had to own it and think about why you were eating it. A pretty pragmatic approach, since we tend to eat on the fly and multitask while shoving food in our mouths. In fact, they encouraged meditation in order to get you to eat mindfully. So, I revisited a meditation app my friend Gwen had turned me on to, and I got into it. I began really tasting each bite when I ate or drank. The meditation app gave me milestones. You have reached 50 days in a row of meditating. 75 days. Today, I passed 140 continuous days of meditation, and I kind of don't want to break my streak. Am I a perfect meditator? Oh my God, no. But this app made me realize that when I was a kid, I would lie on the grass with my dog Tracy, just staring up at the Iowa clouds. And that was a form of meditating. I didn't need to learn how to be present and mindful. I just needed to be reminded how to do it as an adult. And I highly recommend it. I've had all kinds of positive results, most of which were just letting go of stuff, annoying social media, the endless bad news cycle, some angry and bitter people. And I really feel like I've gotten back more time in my life, more time to write, to sit at the piano and play music. I've actually taken to lying in the grass in my backyard with my dog Roxy and just being. And I lost 15 pounds in the app pretty easily and wish Tara well before canceling my account. The truth of the matter, all these different diets work. But can you only eat pineapple for breakfast or chicken breasts at every meal or frozen meals for the rest of your life? Oh my God, no. Well, I can't. I'd go bonkers. So you add these tools to your toolbox, and when your comfort pants start getting uncomfortable, you reach into your toolbox, grab something, you focus, you get back on track, and you lose the weight, except in your feet. That means somebody's been walking around in your high heels. LOL take two. LOL take two. LOL take two.